Hi, this is Alex Beyer, and today I want to talk a little bit about long-term care planning and gifting. So there's certain ways when we're transferring assets from a spouse or a loved one who needs to go into a care home and get Medi-Cal benefits, so we're not having to pay that somewhere between $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 to $18,000 a month for that type of care. And a part of what we would do in order to get the correct amount of assets or have the right amount of assets so we're not disqualified when making the applications for Medi-Cal is there are certain ways that we'll do gifting. So when we do the gifting, if you just take your assets, what's going to happen if you have so many assets and you just give it away and you just give it to somebody else all at once, or if you transfer it to a trust or something like that, then what's going to happen is there's disqualification rules. And once the gifts are made, and Medi-Cal sees that on the application, when they go back and look at the bank accounts and they ask, well, what is this? What they're going to do is they're going to divide the number of months on the average private pay that they would be paying, somewhere around right now, around $12,000 a month. And they would say, well, because you transferred it this way, we're going to take that $120,000. We're going to divide it by the amount that you could have paid, the number of months that you could have paid by yourself, by say the $12,000 amount. So $120,000 divided by 12, we're going to disqualify you for 10 months for giving away that $125,000. So after that 10 months, you pay for your own care in a care home, and then we'll help you out. So doing it that way, if you have lots and lots of assets, that's something that you can do because they can only disqualify for so many months at a time. So if there's lots and lots of assets, then that's something you can do. You can move lots of things. It's a little bit simpler, just having the disqualification for those number of months. But if you're not talking about millions of dollars and you've got so much, but you just don't want to get rid of everything, there's things that you may need because you probably need more than $35 to buy toothpaste once you're in a skilled nursing facility. So in order to pay for that, I mean, who's going to pay for the wheelchair? Who's going to pay for the ways to get around? Who's going to pay for the medication if there's something that's not covered? When those considerations come up, if all you have is at $35, then that's kind of a problem. So what happens is when we talk about gifting, what we're talking about is gifting in a specific manner, so in a certain way, so that we're within the rules and everything is according to Medi-Cal rules. There's no funny business or anything else going on. But when you transfer things based on their rules, and we do specific smaller gifts in certain increments, and what we do is we're not going to give the gift to anybody. We're not going to give it to a trust. If you do that, you're going to have those disqualification matters. So what we do is we're going to have some kind of a family member or a loved one or somebody else that we're able to give specific amounts to in a certain way. And once we do that, we're also going to set up another type of trust, a special needs trust that we call a family needs trust. And what the family needs trust is a third-party special needs trust. It's created by somebody else, not by the person that's going into the care home. It's created by somebody else who wants to create a trust solely for the benefit of the person that's going to go into the care home that needs that care, needs the Medi-Cal benefits to help pay for it. So they're going to set up a trust in order to help that person. It's not going to be you setting it up, and you're not going to make any gifts specifically to that trust at all. So what happens is when we do our gifting, we're going to do certain specific gifts to our loved ones of certain types of property. And what they're going to do is we're able to do that without being disqualified from care. And when we give those gifts over to our loved one, and generally they can do whatever they want with it, but generally what they're going to do is they want to take care of you, and they're going to give gifts back to the trust. That's not you giving it directly. They're going to be giving it. It's set up by them, and they want to take care of you. So these funds that you're giving away, it's going to take care of you through this trust that's solely for your benefit. And then you get to decide where those. It's going to be written so that it's going to go where it's supposed to go in the first place. But that way, the spouse or the person, the loved one that needs to go into care, they're going to be able to qualify for the benefits. They're not going to be no more assets in your name, and you're going to be able to still get that wheelchair and the medication and the other service that you might need, even though without having to spend down your entire estate and losing everything before you can get any kind of Medicare help.